Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Milwaukee Beer Review. As always, I am Josh.
And I'm Ross.
And today we've got, it's getting close to fall. Yeah. A lot of the pumpkin and Oktoberfest beers are coming out, so we figured, hey, let's snag some of these crazy, weird pumpkin beers that show up on the market around this time of year, and try a couple of them and see what we think. Yeah. So that's really all we're here to do today. So Ross, why don't you kick us off with the first one that we're going to try here?
All right, so the first one is out of Tyranena. It's a Pumkin Spice Ale. Yep, Pumkin Spice Ale. So it's called Painted Ladies. We've done Tyranena before. They're out of Lake Mills, Wisconsin. Yep. This one is just basically an ale brewed with pumpkin and spices. Yep. And those spices include cinnamon, cloves, nutmeg, allspice, and ginger. So pretty much what you expect with like a pumpkin pie or anything like that is what this one is.
I'll be honest, I'm not a huge pumpkin fan, so this series of beers is going to be a little odd for me, but maybe I'll be surprised here.
I enjoy them. I like pumpkin beers. You and I kind of talked about it. I don't like seek them out necessarily, but I do enjoy when they come out. I like grabbing a few here and there every year. So.
All right. Well, let's check out what Tyranena's got here. Get a little nose on it. Oh.
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin. Who's surprised? Yeah. There's pumpkin.
Don't get a lot of the spices. Maybe just the pumpkin on this one.
I do get a little bit of it. There's almost kind of like that cinnamony spice behind it a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, pumpkin and a little bit of spicy note behind it, but that's it. All right, let's give it a go. Cheers, buddy. It's good.
It's not bad. It's definitely pumpkin forward. I mean, you get that throughout. I'm still not getting a lot of the spices. I don't know if you are. I'm not really getting the spices that it said come with it. It's tasty. Pumpkin beers tend to also, even though this is an ale, it feels heavier.
Yeah.
Just because, I don't know why that is exactly, but it doesn't feel like a light, like, refreshing ale. This is definitely something you'd want to drink later in the year as the weather starts to cool down, things like that.
It tastes a little desserty. I mean, I think you kind of can expect that with a pumpkin spice beer. If you've ever seen John Oliver's show, he talks about the pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks all the time. This is not anywhere on the same plane as that as far as like how forward the flavor is. I'm actually kind of surprised at how subdued the pumpkin and spice flavor is here. But it's not bad. It's pretty decent. I mean, and I like the fact that it's actually a little bit tamer because it makes it a little bit easier for me to drink, I think, because I'm not a huge fan of the pumpkin flavor. So,
no, it's good. I enjoy it.
So what would you put this in Untappd?
Put that one on Untappd. I'm trying to also think of in the realm of pumpkin beers and one I've had in the past. It's good. It's missing a little something. I'm going to put this at a 2.75. I enjoy it, but it's not really, I would say it's not one of my favorites I've had.
To me, it's somewhere right in the middle. I'd put it around 3. Okay. I think it's a very drinkable beer. If you're looking for something like this, go out and find it. You won't be disappointed with this. You probably just won't be blown away either.
Yeah,
so I think it's right in the middle. All right. So up next, we've got something from Dogfish Head. We have not actually reviewed anything from Dogfish Head on this channel that I can remember. Dogfish Head is definitely a brewery that I appreciate. We'll have some good stuff coming later this year.
Absolutely.
From them, for sure. But this is their pumpkin ale, and this is actually a brown ale brewed with pumpkin and spices. This comes in at 7% ABV, so a little different than the first one. This is going to be a brown ale, but I think kind of the same general idea with this, except it's a brown ale as the base. So let's get a little nose on the brown from Dogfish Head, the pumpkin ale.
Ooh.
I don't know what I'm getting there on the nose.
More cloves I'm getting from the first one. I'm we're going to say pumpkin forward again. It is. But this one I definitely pick up more of the cloves. Just smells a little heavier, I guess. Smells a little more robust.
I'm not getting as much pumpkin on the nose on this one as I was on the first one.
Yeah, I'm definitely getting more of those spices.
More spiciness to it than the first one. All right, man.
All right,
let's give it. This is a brown ale, though.
Yeah.
Like, look at that.
I know. It's
like, it looks gold, actually. Yeah. I'm expecting something browner for a brown ale.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it by looking at it.
No. All right, let's give it a go.
Cheers. Definitely more spice forward
Yep.
than the previous one. Pumpkin's actually pretty subdued throughout.
To your point, description on this, definitely more spice forward. Again, it's still a little bit, the mouthfeel on this is a little bit heavier, I think, than the first one. But there's still, it's not quite as pungent as I would expect in a pumpkin spice beer. It's fairly subdued. I would say this flips the first one in that I get more spices than pumpkin, whereas the first one I got more pumpkin than spices. I can't say which way I prefer. I actually think I probably prefer the pumpkin more than the spice component coming through. So, I mean, in comparison, and I've had a lot of really great stuff from Dogfish Head, I would actually put, I think the first one from Tyranena ahead of this. I'm putting this probably at a 2.75 in Untappd, I think, just based on comparison to the first one and drinkability.
I got this at about 3.25. It's still very good. I think the clove and the cinnamon I'm getting out of it is really flavorful. I really actually enjoy that. I like the little bit more kind of full body on this one compared to the first one. It's nothing that's gonna knock your socks off or anything, but it's still very tasty.
I feel like maybe sometimes we're a little bit mean when it comes to the Untappd ratings. Like if you go look at Untappd, you see some of those scores out there, and most of them are like above 3. But we're trying to give you a real, impression here.
We're also kind of doing it within the realm of what we're drinking today.
Sure.
And we gotta give ourselves some wiggle room for as far as like, if we were blown away by something later, I want to give something.
Yeah, if you're watching this video, you're trying to pick, hey, which one of these 4 pumpkin beers that are available in the Milwaukee market do I want to go pick up? We want to legitimately tell you what we think.
Exactly.
So that's how we're doing it. All right. So what do we got next?
So next we're back to a Wisconsin brewery. We got Lakefront's Pumpkin Lager. So again, it's kind of cool. Actually, throughout we have 4 different styles of beer that are all pumpkin beers. I like that we did that completely on purpose.
It was.
So this one comes in at 6.1%. And what's really cool about this is Lakefront actually does do a barrel-aged version of this every year too. I believe they do it with brandy barrels. So they have their base and they have the brandy barrel version. This is, for me, I don't know if you've had this one. This is one I probably have every year. I just always seem to get it. I really enjoy this one. But this one's really easy to find around this time of year, especially in this area. So
yeah, I don't think I've had this before. So let's get a little nose on it. Yeah, this one's way more like pumpkin pie sweetness forward than the other 2. Definitely get, that pumpkin.
More pumpkin, a little bit of spice. So it's kind of actually nice in between from the ones we've had so far.
This will be interesting in lager form, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, pumpkin spice. Let's see what we think.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This one I just think is so good. I think this one's got a nice full body. I think there's a little twinge of creaminess that kind of adds to like a nice little sweetness to it, but the pumpkin's really good in here, and you got subtlety of some of the cloves and the nutmeg and all that stuff kind of coming through as well.
Yeah. I do like this. You can absolutely tell on the mouthfeel that this is a lager. Like, it just has kind of that lager character to it. It's just a little bit more subdued on the mouthfeel and on the palate. But the flavor to this, I agree with you. The blend of it and that creaminess to it, well, it's still not prominent. Like I was expecting to get a little bit blown away from these pumpkin spice beers on the flavor characteristics of the pumpkin. None of them have really showcased that to me yet. This has probably got the best overall flavor to me of the 3. Untappd, I'm probably putting this in at around a 3.5. Okay. I think it's very drinkable. It's very good. Again, not something I'm reaching for or seeking out in any way, shape, or form. But if you put these pumpkin beers in front of me thus far, this is the one I'm reaching for.
Yeah, I got this one about a 4. I really enjoy this one, as I kind of alluded to before. It's one I do tend to get every year. I just think it's a damn good beer. I think it's one of the first pumpkin beers I ever had. Yep. And because of that, I tried a bunch more, and I just don't think a lot of them have lived up to what Lakefront does with theirs. And again, this one's really good. If you see their barrel-aged version, that one's really, really good as well. I do like the fact they use brandy. At least they used brandy in the past.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're still using brandy, but it's a very good beer.
Cool. I could see that too. I'll have to try that. All right, so last but not least, we have a beer from Southern Tier Brewing Company. They're based out of New York. I have a pretty decent history with Southern Tier beers. It's actually one of the beers that got me into craft beer back in the day. Like their chocolate stout is just phenomenal. Really good.
Unique ones.
Really unique ones. This is actually their Warlock. So this is a Imperial pumpkin stout. So as Ross alluded to earlier, this is a stout, a little different from what we've been trying here thus far. So this comes in at 8.6% ABV and is essentially that pumpkin spice pumpkin beer, but in Imperial stout form. So yeah, they're based out of New York, not a Wisconsin brewery, but this stuff you can find definitely in the Milwaukee market. So let's get a little nose here on the Warlock.
Man,
that's more like pumpkin pie creaminess, definitely on the nose compared to these other two.
You can smell. What I like about this, right off the nose, is you get the pumpkin everything, but to your point, the pumpkin pie, you get kind of that crust, that graham cracker crust you're getting in this too, which I really like.
Yeah, the nose on this is really great. And they do a great job with different adjuncts and flavors to their beer. Like I said, the chocolate stout, so I won't be surprised by this probably. All right, dude.
All right, cheers.
Let's give it a go. Cheers. Oh.
Yeah, that's good.
By far.
That's really good.
The best of the four, I have to say. I mean, this gives you all the palate notes that you want. The Imperial Stout obviously makes this more full flavored than you're getting from a brown ale or the lager or whatever the Tyranena was. But I mean, obviously you're getting all of that here. The pumpkin is very pronounced in this, but it's also well blended. The spice is there. Yeah. It pairs really nicely with an Imperial Stout. They do a really good job with this.
This is a dessert beer without really being a dessert beer.
Yeah, sure.
To me, it is being an Imperial Stout. You don't really think, but it really does taste like a pumpkin pie. You got the graham cracker crust kind of flavoring in here, and then you get that it's not punch in the mouth pumpkin, but it's nice and subtle, and it's full body, it's full flavor throughout, which I really like, the complexity of the different flavors you're getting on this one. Yeah,
this is a pumpkin beer I would reach for. Untappd, I'm putting this in at a 4 1/4, I think. I think it's just a really well-made beer. It's really well blended. If I'm going to grab a pumpkin beer, this is more the category that I want to go for. Really well done, Southern Tier. Nice.
I like this slightly better than Lakefront, but not enough to go to the 4 1/4. Like, I have it at 4 as well, but it would get a little slight notch over the Lakefront lager. Just being Imperial, being kind of a little more heavy, I really enjoy that. So
yeah, it's really, really good. Well, all right. So there's a little taster's tour of some pumpkin beers that are available now that it's fall. Football season is starting. The Brewers are on their run for the playoffs. The Badgers football team is, not
slow
doing
start.
great. But really good stuff. Check this out. If you're looking for some pumpkin beers and you're looking for stuff in the market, this stuff should all be available around here. So let us know if you've got thoughts. Comment, comment, subscribe here on YouTube. Check us out on the rest of our social media platforms. We're on Untappd, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, here on YouTube. Would love to hear from you and would love to get thoughts from folks that are watching out in the community. So stick around, more episodes to come. Look for our Oktoberfest episode coming very, very soon. Other than that, we'll see you in the next one. Thanks everybody.
Bye.